Buen día, bien, ¿todo bien?
Muy bien, gracias.
Vi el gol de Pibe Valderrama que pusiste, qué golazo, ¿eh?
No,
Que bueno, no fue de él, pero la asistencia, la jugada es casi gol de...
no,
You need a
Sí,
coffee
espectacular.
sponsor soon.
Yeah, we need that. Yes. We need that, yes.
You guys good? Okay, go ahead with questions for Gonzalo.
Has Joseph returned to Atlanta?
No, not yet.
Not yet. He's still in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know when he's going to come back?
Maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Luis, been training most of the week. Is he healthy enough to perhaps come off the bench?
Yeah, maybe that's what we are trying to see, to take the numbers, to take the data in consideration. Is the first week where he's back training normal, so we have to see if it is worth it to have him on the bench for maybe minutes, or it's better to have a good training session with him so he's available for the next two matches we're going to have in the week against Chattanooga and Miami.
And Hyman, kind of the same
Yeah.
deal. I know you briefly talked about him going to the twos, but now you do have games coming up. Is there a chance he could get some playing time on Saturday?
Yeah, it's similar. I think he's more likely to be on the bench,
Okay.
but it's in similar stage as Luis, because Emerson's injury was long-term injury, so we have to be more cautious with his timing to come back and patient. But I think he's being training very, very well physically and on the soccer side, so he's very likely be on the bench.
You talked about after the Charlotte game trying to perhaps improve the messaging about off-the-ball movement and attacking and things like that. When you rewatched that game, what did you see and what have you been able to work on this week in that regard?
Well, we've been working a lot in exactly what I said. I didn't feel like our build-up play, the way we start our sequences in attack, was clean, was okay. It was always disrupted by the 2-9s shifting over, and we were not able to take advantage of our three center backs. But a lot of that is the timing, the spacing, the movements in behind that line. But this week we work a lot on breaking the first line of pressure, and hopefully that can start better sequences for us in the midfield, and then we work also in the final third ideas to get more chances, because even though we had more and better chances than Charlotte, we didn't create enough maybe to win the game, and we are conscious that we need to create more, and we work on that. One thing I didn't work on, and I think I should have, is working on when they commit a foul on us, I have to be specific on the ball has to be exactly in the space where it was, because reflecting on the film, the referee was saying that it was 2 yards off, and that's too bad. So I have to tell my players to be specific on the spot of the fouls. But we were not working on that this week, so maybe next week.
That's 2 weeks in a row that's happened to y'all.
Yeah, so we need to work on that, but I postpone that for other things.
How does Cincinnati's 2-9s, Vasquez and Baji, how do they compare with Charlotte's in their movements and their pressure?
I think it's in some ways different. I think they are more of a target number 9s. They are the main targets. They tend to play more direct to them, but also they have very good midfielders. I think one of the things we look at the scouting report is how good their three midfielders are. Whoever it is, Medun Janin, Kubo, Acosta, obviously, and Moreno, I think they're very good on the ball, very dynamic, physically good. So we need to be able to try to win that duel in the middle of the field. Obviously, the two strikers are always good. I think Vasquez is in a good momentum, is in a good rhythm, good form. So we need to take care of him. Also, it's not just his movement inside the box, but also how much he can hold the ball in different areas and just win the aerial duels and knock some balls down for the midfielders. So I think he's going to be key for their success, and we need to stop him to do that.
Last one for me. We talked after the Charlotte game, and you disagreed with me that I thought Moreno and Almada were kind of on top of each other a lot in the game. I was curious after watching film if you still thought that, and how do you kind of get them to be a little bit more apart so that there's more spacing and just stress the defense more?
Yeah, no, it's not like I disagree completely about that. I understand at times they play in the same areas. It's just like where I disagree is that they are not effective in there, because when they start to combine and play short passes among themselves, they look good and they have some connection there. Obviously, they are very good footballers in general, so I like also my main footballers to combine. I don't want one on one side and the other one on the other. Then they'll have sometimes people to combine with. So, but understanding that there has to be some positional understanding and spacing in between, and we work on that as well. So maybe this week you see a little bit different. Yeah.
Gonzalo, how did the players react when you, after going through the film, sort of pointing out what they could have done better after a loss? How did they respond to you in that film session?
As I think the good thing about that, because it's a very good question, is that we have a process in place. So every week since I'm here, we've been watching the film back the first day back in training, and even when we win, when we think we play good, we also highlight some issues or some problems that we need to fix. So the players by now, I think they're very, I don't know, they know that it's not criticizing them specifically. It's just pointing out some problems that we may have, and whoever plays in that position may have the same issues because of the position. Or I never highlight a bad pass or missing a goal, or I never highlight. I highlight more like the positional understanding, the shift overs, the distance in between our units, our principles of play, and they understand sometimes when I say, hey, this player, you could have done better here because of this, is in the context of is anyone that plays in that position. So I think by now they understand that, so they take the criticism in a very positive way. So it's just that I think that helped them just to see the bigger picture, see the issues after the game, and then the training sessions make sense, because normally our training sessions are about that. What we did well, continue, and what we can do better, try to fix it. And so then I think it's a good process in place to improve.
And you know your players very well. So specifically the first half of that game, I also rewatched, and Charlotte did a very good job, like especially in their block in the midfield. How much of it is confidence on your player's side, and perhaps not taking the space, or not making the right pass, or not taking the risk that they should have, and how much of it is the opponent? It's probably a balance there, but you know your players. Is there a confidence issue, or perhaps the fact that they want to keep the ball, they want to stay under control, a little bit conservative in the first half? How much do you just put on the players, and how much do you put on the opponent?
Well, I think it's always a mix, right? In every game you watch, it's a little bit of a mix. The other day you watch Atletico de Madrid overwhelming Manchester City, and who was it? Was Manchester City not doing a good job, or Atletico de Madrid pressing very high and doing a good job at pressing almost man for man at times? So that's always a good question. I think we always have to worry about what we can do better. Obviously, giving credit to the opponent, because actually Charlotte did a good job at shifting over in the middle block and waiting for our mistake to really counter and go there. But I'm always focused on what we can do better. So in that sense, I take it on us. And it's a little bit of the lack of confidence. I think before the goal we were somehow okay. We created that half chance with Dom, and then having some momentum, some possession, and then the goal came out of a bad build-up. We lose the ball on the left side on top of our box, and then the first corner comes, the second corner comes, and windy day, and suddenly we're losing a ball from nothing and losing the game. So. And then after that took a little bit of a while, maybe the rest of the half, to really have some momentum, even though we create another very good chance with Dom, and one with Marcelino across from Andrew Goodman inside the box, and the goalkeeper saved it. The second half we felt more confident. I think we were more on the front foot. We were dictating a bit more the tempo, but we didn't create enough chances maybe in the second half, besides the one with Caleb Wiley and a few shots from top of the box. But the team felt better, so I don't feel like it was a horrible game from our side. I felt that we was kind of even, but we lost in a set piece and Olympico, and well, that happens, but we need to improve, and that's what we just did.
Did Cisneros earn a spot to start, you think, on this weekend?
Maybe. I hope Pat is not watching this interview, but yeah, maybe. I think you saw a little bit what he can bring to the team. A guy that is going to fight for every ball, that is not giving up any half and half ball that maybe is going out. No, he's going to chase, he's going to press, and he has some pace in transition to kill any center back, because he's very fast. So I think he's a good addition, a very good addition. He's fitting very well in the locker room as well. It's not just what he does on the field, but also also I can see that the players like him, and it's been so far a very good integration in the team. So yeah, he might get. I think also Dom did a good job. So Dom Dwyer did a very good job at pressing, at chasing, at trying to hold the ball. He got 2 chances, and we have to give him credit for creating those chances as well. So I will see what I come up on Saturday.
So, I saw you talking to Franco Ibarra over here. What have you seen from him, both in just physically progressing from the injury, but also just tactically how he will fit into your system this year?
Well, I was talking more about him coming back from an injury, and we have to address that. I understand that at times footballers, we need a little bit of rhythm. It's not easy to come back from a long period of time with an injury and then come back at the same level, and that's almost impossible. You need to give them a little bit of a time, and I tend to be patient with some of the players on, okay, take some rhythm, focus on improvement, focus on how we can help you to get again to the level that he was playing in preseason. He was fantastic, in my opinion, in preseason with his physicality. He was covering so much ground at pace and very aggressive, and I love those type of center mids there. But also he was much better in the connections and passing the ball forward and breaking the lines, and very dynamic player. So I was just more talking about the process to come back there. But he's doing good. He's training very hard. He's trying to do the right things off the field. So I think he's gonna be very soon back to his level.
And when you lose a player like Ozzy Alonso, he's such a, or at least he was in the early portions of the season, such a critical part of the midfield, kind of that building block in midfield. Would you have a player like Santiago Sosa? Is that nice for you to have somebody who's kind of a like-for-like replacement, or do you have to try to figure out other solutions when you lose a player like Ozzy?
No, of course. I'm blessed with so many good midfielders, and I always said I love the squad I have. I don't have complaints. Some coaches maybe count the dollars and the million of dollars that the club invests. Whatever is the amount, I love my players. The one that costs nothing or the one that costs 10, 14, 15, I love all of them. And I think that I have the best squad always. And so I'm proud of that, and I'm happy with what I have. And if we lose Ozzy, sadly, very sadly, because you know what we miss, I think next guy is going to do at the same level, and where we have to help him also to be up to the standard and next man up. So I'm happy with Santi. I think he's also coming back from a surgery. We have to be conscious of that. Again, the rhythm at the end of the last year, he ended up in a very, very high note. He was very, very solid in the midfield, and again, is the continuity for him that he needs to come back to that level. So I think he's going to be fine, and we're going to be fine on that position.
You were joking about ball placement after fouls, but the past 2 weeks y'all have been fouled a lot. Have you or Carlos spoken with PRO just about what's going on the field, and I mean, do you have a solution? What can you do?
No. Honestly, I was just joking. You talk about my reflections after the film, and we were making jokes about that in the coaching staff. And I'm not a complainer. I know on the field I'm a little bit more excited about fouls and defending my players, because I would like just someone to notice how many fouls we concede and how many we make in every game, and yellow cards conceded for us and versus others. And just conscious of that, I understand that we want to dictate the tempo. We want to have possessions. Normally, teams come to obviously target Marcelino, target Thiago, try to break that rhythm. That's normal. That happens in many clubs. So it's not a complaint. Referees have to do their job. I think they do a good job. We have to do better. And maybe, when the pressure comes, the ball can't be there. I need to move the ball faster, so the pressure never comes to me, and that's a way to save fouls and not take many fouls, not attract the pressure. Maybe that's a solution, and we need to move the ball faster. So I think always what we can do better, and the referees, they do a good job. And I mean, if they make more fouls than us and we get punished, well, it is like that at times. Yeah.
So, what do you? It's really early in this season. It's early in your time in Atlanta, but what has been, in your opinion, your biggest win so far? Not wins and losses, perhaps something that we don't see. Is there something that you right now know this has been the team's or your staff's biggest accomplishment so far?
It's curious. We just talked about that this morning. Not specifically in a game or result. I think we accomplished a very good record so far. I think we're in a good note. But I think the biggest achievement is the culture we are creating, and I don't think it's a final product yet. I think we still have to make some strides to make it even better. But I feel like the players, they like to be here. They like to be in the locker room. They like to make jokes. They like to train hard. They know when it is business, when it is on the field, 4v4s, 5v5s, 11v11, is life or death. And when they are there, they fight, they compete. But I can see the team chemistry that we are creating, and I love that. Whether we win or not, because that sometimes is not in our control, you can say, I love what I see in terms of the team ethics and the way they behave. And it's all great to them and to the staff that they are creating that environment where everybody loves to be here, everybody loves to be part, everybody feel valued. Whether they play or not, they feel like we value. We talk to them. We talk to the players that never play. We talk to them who are willing to work with them. They feel valued by the coaching staff. And I think that's a good thing to have. And the chemistry among the players, the way they are interacting on and off the field, just fantastic. So I love that. Yeah.
Coach,
Yeah.
when Luis got hurt, it was very early in the season. He hasn't been on the pitch with Thiago and Marcelino. I know you want to be cautious with him, but is there a part of you that is really anticipating seeing what those three can do on the pitch together?
Yeah, I'm a little anxious to see that, actually. I think they are three fantastic footballers, and if we as coaches were able to make sure that they connect to each other and they have that little connection, as we were talking about the connection in Colombia, you know, and then they just have that, how you say, like telekinetic or something like that, where they understand each other without seeing, without talking. If we can create that among those three, plus the 9, plus Joseph, plus some others that join that part of the attacking half, I think we can have something important. And part of that is working, because we need to put them together in small-sided games, in small possession games, in the 11v11s as much as we can, so they get that interaction. And I think they're going to be fine, but I'm actually anxious to see those three playing for us and combining together. I think they're going to do well.
Seattle, Pumas.
Oh, don't ask me about that.
You're happy no matter what, right?
I'm happy and sad at the same time. I was telling that to some of my friends in Seattle, that I'm going to be happy and sad no matter what happens in the game. To be honest, I mean, I love Pumas. This is my team forever. I don't cheer for Barcelona or City. I don't cheer for any team. The only team I cheer for is Pumas. But knowing as much as I know Brian Smetzer and his fantastic coaching staff and the players that I love, that are in my heart all the time, I would love to see any of those teams to win. But I don't know. There's a very good connection with the coaching staff in Pumas in Seattle, so I'm going to be happy no matter what. So yeah, it's a great final. I think both deserve it. I think Seattle yesterday played a very smart game. Both are very strong at home and kind of similar path, like they win at home and then away they are smart, they know how to play those type of games. So it's going to be a very good match, very entertaining match, and we will see what happens. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Go ahead with questions for Thiago.
How do you feel you're doing?
¿Cómo crees que estás jugando?
Creo que bien, si bien yo siempre quiero hacerle todo mi trabajo para el equipo, tratar de buscar mi mejor forma de jugar, pero creo que me estoy sintiendo bien, terminando los partidos bien, así que nada, me siento bien.
I think I'm doing well. I feel good. I'm always trying to give my best for the team and do everything that I can to continue improving and continue to help the team. So I'm feeling comfortable.
How would you describe your level of understanding and ability to execute Pineda's tactics right now?
¿Cómo describirías tu entendimiento, la sensación que tienes con lo que está pidiendo el cuerpo técnico?
No, creo que la sensación es muy buena, siempre queremos atacar, ocupar bien los espacios, tratar de ser profundo, tratar de jugar pase corto y tratar de ir siempre hacia el arco rival y hacer gol.
I think the feelings are very good. You know, we're understanding what we want to do. We want to find the space, attack the space, always play quick passes and move forward. So I think the understanding is very good.
And the partnership with you and Moreno, kind of in the middle or on the left, it seems like y'all kind of keep getting into the same spaces at times during games? Is that something that y'all are talking about and trying to figure out?
Dice que tu sociedad con Marcelino en la cancha que a veces están ocupando los mismos espacios, si es algo que siguen, bueno, que ustedes siguen mejorando.
Sí, a veces quizás no encontramos en el mismo lugar, pero siempre uno tiene que ocupar un espacio y si no el otro, pero tratamos de entendernos de la mejor manera y también eso te lo da los partidos, así que nada, creo que también nos vamos entendiendo partido a partido.
Yes, sometimes we find ourselves in the same spaces, but someone always needs to be occupying the space. But I think we're still getting to know each other. We're learning, how to play with each other, and that's something that we'll continue to do over the course of these games.
Thiago, el domingo estuviste muy activo, pero ¿por qué crees que se les complicó el partido? O sea, el segundo tiempo fue mucho mejor, pero ¿por qué crees que se les complicó?
He was very active in the last game, but why he thinks the game was difficult in the last game?
No, creo que nos complicó el gol que nos hicieron ellos de entrada, porque si bien no nos llegaron muchas veces concretas, nosotros creo que por momentos jugamos un buen partido, tuvimos ocasiones, pero bueno, no pudimos hacer el gol, pero creo que jugamos un buen partido, sí tenemos cosas que mejorar, pero bueno, nos pagó el gol ese que nos hicieron ellos.
I think it was difficult that they scored an early goal and that complicated things for us, but I think in general, I think we played a good game. I think we created chances. Of course, we know we have things that we still need to improve, but I thought we played a good game.
Y tu entendimiento con tus compañeros, eso va a ser un proceso obviamente, pero ¿cómo te sentís ahora mismo? O sea, vos venís jugando de una forma muy específica con Vélez, siendo suramericano, argentino. Te he preguntado antes esto, pero ¿cómo la ves? ¿Cómo ha sido ese progreso?
How his progress is getting to know and play with all his teammates.
No, creo que es bueno, ¿no? Si bien creo que cada entrenamiento, día a día, nos entendemos mejor, yo entiendo más a mis compañeros, así que nada, creo que solo es trabajo y entrenar día a día.
I think every day, every training session, we understand each other a little bit better. It's just something that's going to come with training and something that we have to work on, but I think every day it's improving.
You've had, I think, 3 different strikers now playing in front of you, maybe 4. Does that make your job a little more challenging in trying to build chemistry and be able to read the guy to put them in on goal?
Dice que has jugado con 3, quizás 4 delanteros distintos, si eso se hace tu trabajo un poco más complicado, si cada uno es un poco diferente.
Sí, obvio, cada uno tiene sus cualidades diferentes dentro de la cancha, pero uno siempre quiere tratar de dar lo mejor para el equipo y juegue quien juegue, lo tiene que hacer de la mejor manera y nada, creo que es eso.
Obviously, every player has different qualities, but everyone who's out there is always trying to give their best for the team and trying to help the team, so that's always the main focus.
Thiago, now that you have a few games under your belt, how would you describe the league in general, just the play style of the league compared to what you're used to playing in Argentina?
Ahora que has jugado unos partidos, ¿cómo describes la liga y cómo lo ves comparado con, pues quizás de donde vienes?
Creo que los partidos son muy intensos, muy físicos, mucha intensidad, mucho ida y vuelta. Creo que eso.
I think the games are very intense, very physical, a very high intensity, and the games are very up and down.
What are you doing that you like on the field right now? What are you happy with?
¿Con qué estás contento? ¿Qué estás haciendo bien? Algo que te gusta dentro de la cancha.
No, creo que yo siempre trato de dárselo a un compañero que esté más cómodo que yo, trato de solucionarle algunas cosas, de dar siempre una opción, de ser un pase, así que nada, creo que lo estoy haciendo bien y estoy muy contento con el grupo y la verdad que estoy muy feliz de estar acá.
I'm always trying to try to provide solutions on the field, to try to be an option, and I think I'm doing that well. I'm very happy to be here.
Last one.
Yeah.
¿Sientes que este equipo juega igual fuera de casa como en casa? O sea, siempre con el estadio lleno acá en Atlanta se motiva más, pero eso es parte de lo que tiene que mejorar este equipo, sabiendo cómo mantener un estilo en cada partido.
If he thinks the team is or can play the same away from home that they do at the stadium at home.
Creo que nosotros la misma idea, jugando de visitante o de local, es la misma. Siempre queremos atacar, siempre queremos hacer gol. Pero bueno, también nos juega un poco la gente del rival. En casa nos sentimos más cómodos, como siempre, así que creo que esa es la única diferencia, pero nosotros queremos ganar en todas las canchas y jugar de igual a igual.
Our idea of play is always the same, no matter if we're playing away or at home. We're always trying to attack. We're always trying to score goals. Of course, when you have all of your home fans, the support of the fans is can make a difference. But the idea for us is to always play the same. All right.
Gracias, Thiago.
That will let them
Thank
go.
you.
Gracias.
Thanks, guys.